What kind of movie do you think you'd be watching? I said, well, the movie is we need a hero in order for him to save the country. He needs to mate with as many fertile women as possible. What kind of movie would you think you'd be watching? Well, it's basically the premise of Hell Comes to Frogtown, starring Roddy Piper. I was expecting some guy. When I heard the title, I heard Roddy Piper in it. I just thought, Roddy Piper. Figured there's gonna be some mutants in there who look like frogs, and that he was gonna go in there and start blasting them away because, for whatever reason. That's what I thought the premise was until I started watching the movie. Of course, I love Roddy Piper as the wrestler. Was a fan of his, and then he did a fantastic job in They Live. So when I saw him in this movie, I thought I would give it a shot and start watching it. The premise of the movie is that it actually takes place 18 years after a nuclear war. Instead of the Russians and Americans learning from their mistakes, they decide what they need to do is to replenish their populations so they can go back fighting each other. That was how much they hated each other. Of course, this was made during the Cold War. During this time period, there are a few fertile men, and there's a few fertile women, and good old Roddy Piper happens to have a plethora of a sperm count to repopulate the earth. So basically, him and the government are going to go to a city that is populated by mutants, frog mutants, to save these women. So, he can get busy, I guess, and start repopulating the world. This was also my first time seeing, I can never pronounce her name, but Sandahl Bergman. She plays in other sort of sorcery type of movies with Conan the Barbarian. She was Arnold Schwarzenegger's love interest in that one. She's the villain in Red Sonja. So she's been in a lot of movies. Whoa, hit my camera there. So she's been in a lot of movies, but this is the first time I saw her not in a sword and sorcery movie. This happens to be a science fiction movie instead. Her character is kind of different. She is kind of like a tough woman, but she's also always doing like these crazy little dances type of stuff to turn on Roddy Piper to make sure, I guess, his junk works. It's very interesting to see her in this kind of role. Going on here, Roddy Piper's performance is pretty good. He has some range, he's kind of like a different character from his They Live type of character. Most of the fighting in this one is surprisingly handled by Miss Bergman and her gunman, I guess, or gunwoman. Piper does do some fighting in this one. He's that helpless. He just shoots a shotgun a little bit, but I would say his character is more like Kurt Russell's character, Jack in Big Trouble in Little China, where he's all talk, big tough guy, but this stuff happens to him where he ends up getting disabled and not able to fight in battles and stuff. His character's something like that. Unlike Welcome to Raccoon City, when they try to do it at Leon, it comes out very poorly. In this movie, it pulls that type of character off pretty well. Not as good as they do in Big Trouble in Little China. Kurt Russell's character, who's supposed to be this heroic guy, knocks himself out and can't get his gun out, or is it a knife out of his sock in time to help fight the baddies and stuff. It's perfectly done. This one's near perfect. Piper, he does have his heroic moments in this one. He does end up saving the girls, and at the end, and he does end up having a little bit of a romance between him and Miss Bergman's character. One thing, though, this does have some strong female characters. One thing that we've heard since 2016, I think this storyline is starting to die down, though, is that there's no strong characters in the 1980s action movies or 90s. This one goes completely against that trope, proves that there are actually a number of strong women characters in action movies in the 80s, that they're not all these helpless damsels in distress. go women power, right? So there was some woman power back in the 80s, but they're always done back then. Strong women, put that in parentheses there, were done correctly. You know, they were capable of holding their own, but they also show that they were feminine as well, and that they were different from their male counterparts. These days, there's really no, when they have a strong woman, you might as well just be saying that she's a man wearing a wig or something like that. The costumes, you know, considering this is a low budget movie, it's done very, very well. Like the frogs, their suits, you know, are on top quality, pretty realistic for that time period. Even for today, I would say if you're a fan of the very first two Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movies, they're on equal footing as those movies. You actually got they got it pretty accurate on how their eyeballs blink and stuff. So they look pretty good, really, for, like I said, for the budget they had. I think they did an excellent job. Overall, though, this movie is definitely a low-budget film. You see how they really have a lot of money to do the things they wanted to do with. My favorite part is when they're riding on the road and they're getting shot, you know, with a cannon. The cannon always misses them, but it seems that it never hits the road, right? It was always hitting the dirt and stuff. We're going to have to start watching those old-time action movies when there's somebody running away and you have like a tank shooting at them and it misses. If it actually ever hits pavement. This one, it's always dirt, which I imagine is cost efficient and easier to portray. But overall, I would put this movie on a quality of Tremors, on its budget, and worth watching. If you like Tremors, you're gonna like. Most likely, you're gonna watch Hell Comes to Frogtown. Both of them are low budget, beloved. The special effects are very practical, but fits in with the environment and are very well done. Nothing really takes you out of the universe that they're trying to build. You're able to stay engulfed with what you're seeing on screen. Piper gives a very good performance, as well as Miss Bergman. But if you're like a Piper fan, if you're like a Roddy fan, worth watching. You can check it out on Amazon Prime. Have you seen Hell Comes to Frogtown? What do you guys think? Is that a great movie? Is it a pretty good movie for what it is? I would say it's a pretty good movie for what it is. Probably not something I would go around recommending to like complete strangers. Like, you know, oh man, have you ever seen Hell Comes to Frogtown? You must check that one out. It's a fantastic movie. But if I heard somebody who likes cheap B movies, I would probably recommend this movie to them. Anyways, have a great day, and hopefully I'll see you around, or you'll see me around, I guess. Bye.